What up everyone, it's your man Xman87 here, bringing you another Marvel Legends video, and what I have for you today is the Marvel Legends The Uncanny X-Men Retro Series Wave 2 action figure reviews. Before we get into everything, if you could please leave a thumbs up like rating on the video, it'll help show your support for my channel and I greatly appreciate it. Now with that said, let's kick things off working our way from the heroes first to then the villains. Up to bat first will be the first appearance, Multiple Man. Taking a look at the classic head on classic Multiple Man, and I gotta say it looks pretty good with the face print tech applied here. It's a little dotty in some areas, but for the most part it looks good. Why does my man look like he has lipstick on? Oh man, it looks a little too red there. He should tone it down a bit. But you know, he's got his little head mask thing on. And you got the gold paint apps right there, so that's pretty clean. I like that. Not going to cover articulation with this guy, since we all know how this Spider-Man White Suit 2099 body works. But it's in a green plastic molding, and the most beautiful thing about it are these gold paint applications throughout the figure. It's just stunning to look at. It's so reflective. Oh man, this gives me Jack Kirby New Gods vibe, and I love Jack Kirby's stuff. So this is something that was always drawn to me with this version of Multiple Man. I know he wasn't created by Jack Kirby, but I'm just saying it gives me those vibes. It looks just like a New Gods character. And look at that, man. They weren't lazy. They actually painted this figure throughout. I love it. And I definitely want to kit bash this Multiple Man so I could put this jacket on him because I really like that look. Now for accessories, he comes with an alternate head which has more of a mean grin to it. So it looks really nice. In case you're wondering, it's not a repaint from the last one because this had a different new sculpt. Just as the default head with this figure, it's an entirely new head sculpt. Then lastly, he comes with two relaxed hands, which are great for vanilla posing. You know what? With all the good effort they put on the paint apps, the kit bashing potential, and obviously the army building fun factor, I'm going high with Multiple Man and give him an 8 out of 10. Now let's take a look at the X-Men 275 Wolverine. So we get a new Logan head sculpt here, at least I think so. It's hard to keep track of all the Logan faces that they've done, so this could just be a touch-up from a past figure that they, you know, made over with the digital tech, but I do believe it's new. I'm gonna say it's new, and it looks very good. They are gradually getting better with their Logan faces. That's something I've been highly critical of them in the past. The chops are serious, the side profile there, I like that. Yeah, overall, I think this is a good head sculpt. So this Wolverine is actually our first ever comic pinless Wolverine. So he does reuse parts from the older one. So the torso and crotch piece are the same. The hips are the same and the deltoid muscles are the same. Only thing that's new are the arms down from the biceps. The hands are reused. And the thighs down all the way to the feet. He does have newer feet. I love the blue and yellow deco here. I've always said that this Wolverine aesthetic is perfect. They don't even have to touch it. These are the new arms here, and I gotta say, something about it looks unnatural. I just feel like, my god, he has like 1, 2, 3, like 3 brachialis muscles. It's kind of over-exaggerated and overdone here as far as muscle definition goes. I mean, it still looks good. I mean, for the most part, it's almost identical to the Juggernaut Wave Wolverine, as you can see. But I just feel like this one it's not as exaggerated. Let me start a Congo line here with Wolverine. So do you see the 3-pack Love Triangle Wolverine? I feel like this arm looks so much better, despite the hairs. You know, forget about the hairs. I hate the sculpted hairs on it. I'm just talking about the muscle definition here. I just feel like the brachialis here is not over-exaggerated like this one. Yeah, I hate the sculpted hairlines on this one, but I'm going to say this one has the better looking muscle definition on the biceps. But the inside looks good. We get new gloves sculpted, and then you get the band sculpted on top of the gloves, so that's cool. Same hands as before with these stupid claws. I don't like them at all. Then we get a new belt piece here in a glossy red and black. It's a little splotchy there, but you know, clean for the most part all around. The waist swivel will warp this belt a bit. And then here are the new legs with the molded straps keyed in on the thighs, so that's cool. You know, you got the thigh swivel starting at the strap right there. So I like that. Pinless legs. New boots right there, and the die cut starts underneath the strap. And these feet, man, what the hell? I don't like these feet. They look like someone panini pressed his feet. Oh man, they're so flat. Just look like pancake feet, man. I'm not feeling that at all. Now for accessories, he comes with an alternate head, and I have to say, this is the best Logan head sculpt they've done by far. Wow, this is so much better. Digital face print definitely enhances the expression, and I like the grinning teeth right there. Overall, this is really nice. Just wish his eye wasn't so cockeyed a bit right there on the right eye, but yeah, this is really good. Again, they are gradually getting better with the Logan head sculpts. For articulation, we're not going to go over everything. We know how this body works. I just want to show you the new parts and how they work. So the new arms, obviously, they swivel. The double jointed pinless arms, they go in about that much. So you'll definitely get past 890 degrees. Is that better than the pin version? We'll see. And it's pretty much the same bend as the Juggernaut Wave 1. Again, I want to point out that these are newly sculpted arms and not just retooled. As you can see, this one has a much bigger tricep than this one. And the Love Triangle 3-pack, about the same, but I'm going to say this one slightly bends in a little bit more. I showed you the thigh swivel, then double jointed pinless knees. Take a look at how they bend in. Oh, look at that, so close they heel to the butt. Definitely much better than the pinned version. Got the calf swivel. The ankles do move far up, something you couldn't do with this Wolverine. But then again, take into account that this has extra sculpting on the boot where this one doesn't. So you're going to get more range here. And the ankles move down that low, and you can rock them all around. With the enhancements of this first ever comic pinless Wolverine in the Legends line, I'm giving him a 9 out of 10. Now let's take a look at Longshot to round out the heroes of the wave. Longshot's head sculpt is really good. I dig the 80s style mullet. It's so freaking cool, man. I dig it. And then you got his eye that's shining bright right there. It does light up when his powers are activated. And yeah, the eyes, the face print, all that, the sculpt, it looks good. He has a very hard structured face right there. As you can see, that's a strong jawline. He looks really good. I like the body work we're getting here. You know, the collar piece, you got the zipper, and it is painted, so that's nice. You get the yellow star right there. Mine is suffering a little bit of paint chips on the edges right there. You got his bandolier where he stores his daggers and or knives, you know. That's really cool. A lot of wrinkled sculpting throughout. It's definitely making this jacket look lively, you know. It's really good, man. And you got his belt right there. You get some silver paint apps applied to the belt buckles and such. His hands are cool because they gave him the 4 fingers, so that is so accurate to the character. And every like Mojoverse character has those 4 fingers. And you can see he has his throwing knives right there in between his fingers. They are sculpted in, and they are not removable. That would have been cool if these were removable and you could store them in the bandolier. And here are his legs. He's got the sheath for his knife right there. Real cool. You know, more of those wrinkled sculpting throughout the legs. And you have his boots right here with some silver paint apps right there. And these are more of a glossier finish than the 3-pack. And I'll take a look at that for a quick comparison. And the only difference between this one and the Mojo 3-pack is that he has the yellow painted eye right there where this one doesn't. So this is good to display if you don't want his like powers activated. Good for vanilla posing if you know you care about that stuff. And then you have the yellow star, whereas this one has the white star. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is the same. And I'll just say that the boots on this retro wave is a bit glossier, just a tad bit glossier. And this one's more of a matte finish on the boots. Now for accessories, he comes with a knife, and it's a really cool sculpt. I like the little ridges right there on the blade. And the only hand he can hold it on is in his right hand, which has a vertical hinge. Or you could store it in his sheath right here that's on the thigh strap. He also has his man purse, which is an accessory that's not included with the Mojo 3-pack one. So you could just, you know, wrap it around him, and I just put it this way so that way it can cross this bandolier. I like that crisscross pattern much better, so you have that right there. Then lastly, he has a closed fist for the right hand and an open hand for the left hand, and they both have that horizontal hinge. Now to cover articulation with Longshot, he has a double ball hinge at the neck, so he's gonna get a lot of range. So you can move his head down that low, and you can move his head that far up, move it left, right, and it pivots real nice, and you can rock it all around. Arms move about that far up for a straight T-pose. They move down. You can swing them around. You got the bicep swivel, double jointed pinless elbows. Great range right there. Wrist swivel and a wrist hinge. Ab crunch moves that far forward and that far back. You got the waist swivel. Legs spread about that far apart. You got his legs that kick up about that high and kick that far back. They can rock around. You got the thigh swivel right there. Double jointed pinless knees and heel to the long shot, but hell yeah. That's awesome. You got the boot swivel. His ankles move up that far. They move down that low and you can swing them all around. Digging the all-new sculpt on this long shot, so I'm giving long shot a rating of a 9 out of 10. Now to kick things off on the villain side, we'll take a look at Avalanche. So the first thing I want to say about this head sculpt is I don't like it. I don't like this squinty look in his eyes. I don't know what is going on. It doesn't look like a dude that's about to start an avalanche. If anything, the only avalanche I think is brewing is in his bowel movements because it does look like he's holding something in. Yeah, I'm not digging it, man. Why didn't they go with the all-white pupils? Like, you know, the package. Or a grinning teeth. Like, you know, the artwork on the package again. Again, I know the figure doesn't go off the artwork. The figure's usually made before the artwork is done. But, yeah, I just do not like that at all. The helmet's kind of cool. It doesn't complement this face at all. Now, I will say that I wouldn't be totally against this if he had an alternate head with the white pupils and, you know, more of a grinning expression. But no, this is the only head we got, and I'm pretty sure they must have made an alternate head that had the grinning teeth and the white pupils somewhere, and they just decided, because of budget reasons, to give us the stoic head instead. And for the rest of the body, you get a new torso with the Grim Reaper arms, new gloves, Grim Reaper legs, and new boots. And you get a lot of swirling going on through the silver plastic parts of the figure. And that's not what's bothering me the most. Actually, what's really bothering me is that his A logo is not present on the torso nor his belt. And that usually screams Avalanche to me. But then they had to reuse parts on a 2015 figure from the Grim Reaper body mold. And, you know, he's got the pins and stuff. And, like, I understand pins are a gradual process. It's not going to happen on every figure just yet, as much as I would love them on every figure, but at least for a new character, a first timer in the line, make them pinless. I can understand if they're reusing a character that's been made before. For a new character in the line, come on, man, put the effort and give him the pinless treatment. I was hoping he would be a little bit thicker because the Toy Biz version from the pre-Marvel Legends days was too scrawny for my taste of Avalanche. Nice sculpt, but again, it's just way too scrawny. So I was hoping for a more thicker version. So I was hoping for new limbs, you know, pinless, and it's not. Definitely missed opportunities across the board with this guy. Here's a closer look at the gloves, which are new, except the hands, those are reused. And here are the boots, which are newly sculpted. And for accessories, he only comes with these extra set of open hands that we've seen reused from Magneto. And that's it. No seismic wave accessories, no ground and pound base with some rubbles, nothing. Just this. And we'll go over articulation since the torso is brand new, and then you got the gloves and legs. So I want you to see how everything ranges with those key points of articulation. So we'll start off with the head, and his head moves about that far up and moves that far down, left, right. Arms move about that far up for a straight T-pose. They move down. You can swing them around, but this part of the armor will stick the arm outwards. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and you got the wrist swivel and the wrist hinge. Ab crunch moves that far forward and that far back. You got the waist swivel. Legs move that far apart, which is very poor. They kick up that high, kick that far back. The legs rock around. You got the thigh swivel. Double jointed knees and no heel to the butt. You do get a boot swivel, and the ankles do move up that far. They move down that low, and you can rock them around. This is the lowest point of the wave being the worst figure. I'm giving Avalanche a rating of a 4 out of 10. And now up to bat is the long-awaited update of Dark Phoenix. The head sculpt is the same as before, but we get the digital face print update with it, so it does look good. I gotta say, it looks nice. Got the red lipstick. The eyes, there's more like eyeshadow underneath it this time around. And there's a better hair wash that go on the hair. So much more details all around. However, I'm more drawn to the last one. I just like the darker lipstick. I like the eyeliner, the red eyes, the yellow pupils. The hair is not as detailed with the wash, but what it did have going for it is the nice translucent highlighted tips. So it just makes it pop for photography. So let me know which one you like more. The great thing about this update is that she's on the Shriek body, the new female updated buck. So it is really nice to see it here. And you got a nice bright color scheme. So you have a brighter red deco with the yellow. And I gotta give them props, man, to get this bright yellow. It's difficult to get the yellow pigment on a figure, and I feel like they've been doing a great job. And I feel like this brighter color scheme is more in line with the recent comic story arcs like Phoenix Resurrection. I'm okay with a color variation. It doesn't bother me. It may bother some of you, but I cannot say no to a good update. Color-wise, I'm still more drawn to this one because when I think of Dark Phoenix, I think of that darker crimson red and the gold. And you can see the Phoenix Bird logo, so much smaller than the older one. So as you can see, again, it had that kind of nice metallic gold shimmer to it. So this one was much thicker, and I do like that when you bend it all the way back, the logo still continues, even though it's cut right there at the edge of the torso. But right here, it kind of just stops right there and leaves a big gap when you bend the torso all the way back, so that really sucks. But leaving it straight is still a nice looking logo. You get a look at the double jointed pinless arms right there. So we get a new sash this time around, and I actually like that the Phoenix logo is sculpted on there, and it's painted in a nice metallic gold too. So that's a neat touch. And the sash is a lot longer too. I wasn't too big of a fan of this sash they put on her. It is not sculpted on, it was just painted on there. So it's got a nice length to it. And here are the rest of the legs. You can see that her thigh highs are painted on there, just like with the arms. So you could debate whether they should be sculpted on or painted on, because in the comics, it looks like it's part of her skin tight costume most of the time. So it never looks like it's a separate piece. Double pinless legs. Oh, it's important to note that she does not have those two gaping holes on the back. So it's pure Shriek upper torso without those gaps. And yeah, Dark Phoenix cake right there. Here are the rest of the legs, serial number painted on the bottom of the feet. And for accessories, she comes with 2 open hands and her Phoenix flaming effect that you control around her wrist. The good thing about that Phoenix 2-pack, it did come with multiple heads and you can put them on here. So here's one of them. I just wish the hair color was more red, and it's just too much of a brown color for me. Here's the other one. I use this one mainly on my green Phoenix costume. And here's a look at the head swaps, and they both look good swapped together. One thing I forgot to point out earlier is that the neck part of the costume stops halfway on this one, where this one is fully covered. Now for articulation, her head moves about that far up. She has a lot of hair, so it's going to be hard to get that to look all the way up, and she can look all the way down with that weird shifting action. Ugh. She moves left, right. It does tilt. You got a lot of bobbling going on and kind of rocks around. Her arms move about that far up, so higher than a T-pose, which is great. Moves down. You can swing them around. You got the bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. Excellent. And then you got the wrist swivel and the wrist hinge. Torso moves that far forward and that far back. It does swivel. It pivots. It rocks around. Legs move that far apart. She kicks up really high and kicks far back to get that kind of frontward split. Legs rock around, thigh swivel, double jointed knees, and oh, so close to heel to the butt. And then you got the ankles that move up that far, down that low, and you can rock them all around. A great update on Dark Phoenix. I'm giving her a rating of a 9.5 out of 10. And now it's time for the main event, as we're gonna take a look at Spiral. Yo, this figure is insanely phenomenal. I'm just gonna start off this review by saying that she is the greatest female Marvel Legends ever made. Hands down, no debate. Looking at Spiral's head sculpt, she's just 100% Spiral. I mean, she's just 100% Spiral. This is definitely Spiral. Wow, this is so true to the character. I love the hair there. It's a nice wash to it. The helmet is so nice. You got some blue on top of that, and then some I don't want to say spikes on top, but like these little nubs in the middle. And she's just gorgeous, man. I love the eyeliner, the all white pupils, the dark lipstick. everything about it. I just love how this hair, the front part is dangling down there. It's just so amazing, man. The helmet is not removable. I have the variant from the Target exclusive Red Hulk wave, which was removable, as you can see. So it would have been nice if we had an alternate head without the helmet, but that's not a deal breaker at all. And look at the body work to this. It just demolishes the old one by a landslide. Not even close. It's like a night and day difference looking at this. But this one still had double jointed elbows, so that was impressive. And it had a torso swivel, and I'll never forgive this Happy Meals 6-arm Spider-Man not even having a freaking torso diaphragm joint. Like, what the hell? We need an update. So when this came out, I was I'll be honest, I was not hopeful for an updated Spiral, and I thought I would just be stuck with this forever. But holy crap, was I wrong? And I'm glad I'm wrong. I'm glad they proved me wrong, because this is one of their best figures ever. Looking at the torso, she has her shoulder pauldrons, which are a separate piece. They are removable too. If I could just pop the head off, and you can see that it can just pop off. I did give my figure a boo-boo. That's right, I'm a grown man that said boo-boo. Don't judge me. This was rubbing against that yellow part of the torso, and it kind of just, yeah, I got a paint rub from it, so I don't know why it has a tendency to slide like that. It's probably part of her hair, but I kind of heated it up, and because mine was kind of warped, so I heated it up so that way it was just aligned proportionately to the body. And yeah, just want to give you a heads up on that. But other than that, man, the yellow was spot on. Damn. But that was on me. And the torso looking great. The breasts nicely sculpted. Her arms, man, look at all 6 arms. They're just amazing. You got one with the armband on the bicep right there, and she has her wristbands on all of them. This is the middle one, is the only one that has the armband right there, and the bottom one right here has the armband. The middle one doesn't. All these bits are painted in a metallic silver, which is really nice. Another thing I want to point out is that she has the 4 fingers on all hands, something the older one did not have, which was inaccurate. She had 5 fingers. She's supposed to have 4, and I'm glad they corrected it this time around. And here's her cybernetic arm, which looks really, really good. It's got that, you know, plastic molding swirling going on, but it looks really good. It's not metallic silver, that deco that's painted, so, you know, again, it still looks good though. You're not even going to notice it in hand. It's so freaking good. And also, all the open hands here have a vertical hinge. You get a new belt piece this time around, so it's not reused from the last one. So I like this. I love the placement for the arms here. This is how it should be done if you want a diaphragm joint. The problem with this one is that they had the arms lined up straight. If they kept it like a triangular, circular rotation like this, then, you know, this gives you that ability, that freedom to give you a diaphragm joint. So, man, really hope they can give us an updated 6-arm Spider-Man. I'm still bitter about this one. Here are the legs. Again, we're looking at an all-new sculpt from scratch. Spiral Cake right there. She's got some pouches lined up on her thighs. You got a seam coming down on the thighs. And same as the other leg. And here we get some nice wrinkled folds on the knees. Those wrinkled folds also continue on the inner thighs, which is very impressive. So, it's just so great. Boots with the fur, it's got a slight wash to them. Very subtle. It's very nice. No reused parts from the other one. I will say that this one does have a stronger wash, but, you know, again, this does not reuse any kind of parts from the older Spiral. And then we also get new shoes as well. As you can see, she has a thicker heel platform, but, you know, you'll be able to balance her just fine. Now for accessories, she comes with 4 katanas, and she also has the axe that came with Angela in a gold deco. and also Angela's sword as well in a gold deco. Lastly, she has 2 alternate hands, a fist for her cybernetic arm, and an open hand for either of the flesh tone arms, and they both have a traditional hinge to them. Now to cover articulation for Spyro, her head is on a ball joint, so she's only going to look about that far up, not a lot of movement, and that far down, again, not a lot of movement, so that's the only bummer part, but you know, you get some movement at least. Left to right, you do get a nice pivot, and it does rock around. Her arms can move about that far up, so slightly higher than a T-pose, and you can move them down. Can I swing them around all at once? That would be dope if I can. I didn't try that out before, but yeah, you pretty much can. So you can rotate these around freely. They're so good. And you got the bicep swivel, double jointed pinless elbows, and you get a lot of good range right there. Wrist swivel and a hinge. The metal arm, though, I will say that it's harder to bend in this top part of the elbow, so I gotta hold on to that bicep real tight and firm, and yeah, you can get it to bend, but this lower part is always easier to bend in than this top portion of the elbow for some reason, mainly because this is a stronger plastic. Torso moves that far forward and that far back. You got the torso swivel. It pivots real good and it rocks around. Legs spread that far apart. She kicks up real high and kicks far back, so you get a nice frontward split. The legs rock around. The thigh swivels. You get double jointed pinless knees, but no heel to the Spyro butt. No boot swivel, but there is a calf swivel. Her ankles move that far up, down, and you can rock them around. So despite the fur piece, you can still get some great range with these ankles. Spyro is a scale breaker, and she gets an 11 out of 10 rating, beyond total freaking awesomeness. To kick off comparisons, here is the classic Multiple Man next to his X-Factor version. Here is our X-Men 275 Wolverine next to the X-Men Blue Strike Team Wolverine and the brown version. Here is Longshot next to Outback Dazzler, Shatterstar, and Mojo. For those of you who don't know, Shatterstar is not only the son of Longshot and Dazzler, sent to the future as a baby by his older self, but also he is the genetic source for the creation of Longshot. So in a way, he's his father too. Who's your daddy? Origins of Marvel cloned characters always seem to be a bit convoluted. Here is Avalanche with Mystique's Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. We just need Destiny and Rogue from that time to complete this team. Here is Dark Phoenix next to the 2-pack Dark Phoenix and Phoenix. Need an updated Phoenix in green. Lastly, here's Spyro next to the Mojo World Pulse exclusive 4-pack Mojo. And now to wrap things up, since I normally only do ranking videos for BAF waves, I'm going to quickly summarize each figure, starting with my least favorite figure all the way to my top favorite, then rate the wave in its entirety. At the bottom is Avalanche. I can't believe they made us wait all these years for him just to give us an underwhelming figure that I'll now call Assalanche. I hate to say they already need to make an updated redo, but that's the truth. But he's the first time in the line and is a necessity to complete the Brotherhood. 5th place goes to Multiple Man. I'll give Hasbro a round of applause for not being lazy and applying great paint apps all around. Army building fun factor will highly increase replay value. He'll be great to put on your X-Men or Fantastic Four displays. 4th place is X-Men 275 Wolverine. It's great to have our first comic pinless Wolverine figure with the best Legends Logan portraits. The 275 blue and yellow team is a dream team for me to complete, and I'm happy I'll be able to do that. 3rd place is Dark Phoenix. Whether you are a fan of the bright colors or not, it's indubitably a great update with its newest features. Both Dark Phoenix versions prior were difficult to acquire, from Toy Biz Series 6 Chase variant to the Toys R Us exclusive 2-pack. Now collectors have a chance to easily add her to the collection. 2nd place is Longshot. I love this version more with the yellow star painted on his eye and chest. This newly sculpted body with its articulation blends smoothly and well balanced. Fun accessories, they outdid Toy Biz here. The best of the best is Spyro, hands down at number 1. This is insanely mind-blowing with an all-new unique sculpt. I'm happy to get a classic Longshot, Dazzler, Mojo, and Spyro all in the same year. Loaded with accessories and POAs, this is the greatest female Marvel Legends figure of all time. This deserves a standing ovation from all of us. My final rating for the wave as a whole is an 8.5 out of 10. We mainly get the orange cards for the heroes, so it's good to have more purple cards for the retro wave with a good character selection of villains. It's my favorite wave of the year with major updates on previous releases, more team builders, and some key characters to fill in gaps on the X-Men shelves. Now I kick it back to you. What do you think of this X-Men Retro Wave 2? Who's your top and least favorite? Feel free to share your ranking. Comment below, let me know, we'll chat about it. Thanks for watching, as this is my last review of the year, and what better way for me to go out on the year than with an X-Men review. Now I'm going to start working on my top 10 videos for 2022. Everyone be safe and happy holidays. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't already at xmanny87. Hit the notification bell so you always know when my latest videos are up. Share and subscribe if you're new. Enjoy the pics at the end of the video. See you on the next review. Peace, peace.